internet. The internet has been buzzing. There has been a lot of, revelation about Davido, and of course now Anita, the girl who is said to be pregnant with his fifth child. And oh, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Adedeji, and on this channel we talk about social issues, we talk about entertainment, we learn together, more like we level up together. Okay, and if this is your first time on this channel, thank you so much for stopping by. I'm so glad to have you. But if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for sticking by me, for supporting your girl. I don't take this for granted at all. I don't take this lightly at all. Thank you so much. Okay, now guys, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and drop your comment. Let me know what you think about every topic that I discuss here. Okay, and or we discuss here rather. And share, tell your friends about this channel. Okay, we're literally just trying to connect with people of like minds, building a community. Okay, and I believe that we can do so much together. Like there is a lot we can achieve together. So if you're looking for a friend, hi, um here, willing to be your friend. All right. Okay, guys, today we are talking about Davido. I mean, if you've been online, I'm sure you would have seen the all the gists, all the receipts that is flying around left, right, center, all that Anita Brown has been saying about Davido, who she claims to be her baby daddy. Okay, now let's, a brief introduction about Davido, because I'm sure that people who would stumble on this video, maybe not now, maybe months later or years later, and they're like, who is Davido? Okay, now Davido is an American-born Nigerian singer. He was born in Atlanta, Georgia, USA, but he grew up in Lagos. Okay, he grew up in Lagos, and he did his nursery, primary, and secondary education here in Nigeria. That is in Lagos, and he started studying business administration in Oakwood University, but then he dropped out. But now I think years later he actually went back to study accounting in Babcock University, and yeah, he graduated thanks to his father. Okay, all right. Okay, Davido came into limelight when he released Damejuro, and Omo Baba Lowo, which is his other name. Yeah, once you hear OBO, I think that's the way he announces himself here on stage, the OBO thing. Now, Omo Baba Lowo literally means, it is a Yoruba word, first of all, and it means the son of a rich man, which he is. The father is a billionaire, and he has grown to become a billionaire himself at a very tender age. And really, we must really give that to him. We must give it to him that he's working hard. I know one or two rich man's children, they don't really aim for so much in life, because they're like, oh, daddy has money. What most of them do is squander. So let's give it to Davido that he has been able to make something out of himself, even when he knows that he has a lot of money to throw around. So he doesn't even have to work, but then he went ahead to work and made a name for himself. And he is making money, good money. Of course, he's a billionaire. The 30BG gang. I'm sure you would have heard about that. Okay, so Davido owns the DMW record label. He's also signed to Sony Music, the Columbia, RCA, right? Okay. Now, in 2012, he won his first award. That was the next rated artist at the Headies. Okay. And between 2013 and 2015, he dropped a new album which had the likes of Aye, Skelehu. I actually heard the song. I know that, I think I was just about to finish secondary school at the time, and then there was what's that song called now? Um, she know one designer. She know what Ferrari. She said, "Nah, my love." Okay, that song I can't remember. It was the people were always blasting the music. Places like Plaza, that if you stayed in New York at the time, you would have heard it around Plaza and other places, if not even your own house, right? Okay, so in October 2022, Davido lost his child Ifeanyi, and it was so the news broke a lot of people. I mean, whether or not you're Davido's fan, I'm sure that that news touched you. I personally had panic attacks because I had a nephew who turned 3 in August. And then Ifeanyi barely turned 3. I think it should be a few weeks before he passed. And then I don't know why I kept feeling like, okay, now my nephew's name is, what's his name now? My nephew's name is Ikaka Bastinam. That's for those who don't understand Ibibio. It means nothing is too difficult for God to do. Okay. Now, my nephew just turned 3, and then if I turned 3, maybe a month later or so, and few weeks later he passed. How? So I don't know what I kept imagining that it was Ikaka. I don't know. Each time the thought of Ifeanyi came to my mind, it was like, what if that was Ikaka? I mean, Ikaka is barely 3. Imagine losing Ikaka. Guys, it was tough. For 3 days, I can't exactly put into words how I felt. So I was now imagining how Choma, which is the mother of Ifeanyi, otherwise known as Chef Chi, and Davido, I don't know how they felt. It was like it threw a lot of people off balance. People reacted, people sent their condolences, and as a result of that, Davido was nowhere to be found on the internet for the longest time, right? I think it was sometime this year that we started seeing posts from him and all of that, and people were happy to have him back. Yeah, it was actually this year because he came back and then he announced what's the album called now? Timeless. Okay, the release of Timeless. They did their campaign. That video came out really nice, and then yeah, of course, when Timeless came, a lot of people had so much to say. There were people were like, oh, this had nothing, there was not tribute to the son. What if he hasn't healed to the point where he wants us to give a tribute to the son? It takes some sort of bravery. Giving tribute to anybody or a loved one who has passed means that, okay, I have come to terms with the fact that the Lord who gave you to us has taken you. Rest well. I mean, people always have a lot to say, and then they'll tell you, adieu, rest well, good night, something like that, till we meet again, okay? But maybe he hasn't mourned him enough to get to a point where he's willing to let it be, let him go like that. So I just felt like it didn't make any sense how people were just bashing him, and people had so much to say. Nobody really actually really, really considered the guy. But hey, on Sunday, the 25th of June 2023, Gistlover had took to Instagram to post about somebody who was allegedly pregnant with Davido's child, or pregnant for Davido, and she posted a conversation she had with the girl. And barely a few hours later, that if it was up to 1 hour, we saw something that looked like a damage control. The girl had sent a DM to Gistlover again to tell her that, oh, how about you will, okay. She sent a DM to Gistlover and said that her Instagram was hacked, so she should ignore all the DMs she had gotten prior to the time that she just sent her a message. Like, okay. And of course, just love him now. He doesn't close his mouth at all. And at this point, I feel like just Lover is the one who's finally going to divide Nigeria, because guy has been spilling the tea, and whether or not we accept, despite all the damage control that people try to do, a few months later or a few weeks later, it always comes to like, okay, on the 25th, like I said, which was on a Sunday, just Lover had posted these, and then the girl tried to do a damage control and kiniko. Guy. On the 27th, it happened. That next day, they just broke out. The girl was saying things like, she's pregnant with the artist child and she's known him since 2017 and they've been off and on and blah, blah, blah. And she did not know that he was married, let alone knowing that the girl was pregnant. Oh wow, interesting. And then she claims that it's because she's in the US and in the US nobody has time for all of that. And that she's a 29-year-old who's not looking to get married because why would she get married and be left at home with a child while the husband goes around cheating on her? That she'd rather, or she wants to make money, make name for herself, achieve a lot more other than, get married. And I'm like, okay, okay, that's nice. Interesting. So why are you insisting on keeping a baby? Okay, earlier she had said that she wasn't sure if she wanted to keep the child, but the way she's going, she's like, oh, she's going to keep the baby. She's well paid. She can handle it and kiniko. But you didn't want to be left at home with a child, and while your husband goes around cheating on you. So what's going on? And then Anita literally broke the internet yesterday, which was the 28th of June 2023. She came out with all the receipts, munching conversations between her and Davido. And according to her, there was this somebody just came out that Anita is into porn. Somebody dropped your website. Well, I wasn't going to come here and talk to you guys and sound like I don't know anything. Guys, I went to that website, typed her name, and then I saw videos. I didn't really watch, but I saw her name, her face, rather, her pictures. I saw her in a lot of those videos, okay? And I'm like, wow, interesting. So she's really into porn and or adult movies, whatever you guys call it. Wow, okay, that's nice. And okay, that means David should be prepared for what is to come. And apparently he knew. She claims he's the one who released the fact that she makes adult videos. And I'm like, okay, why would he do that? But then again, both of them obviously, match each other. They're made for each other because David is there acting like, I don't want to use the word irresponsible, but I think he's actually very irresponsible to go around. I think it's actually very irresponsible to go around sleeping with random people, whether or not you have dated them, whether or not you have known them, without protection. Not when you're married, right? Not when you're married. So he's actually really putting himself at risk and his entire family. So he I don't know if he's not thinking. I'm not trying to be judgmental, guys, but let's call it spade a spade. David should have known better not to sleep with that girl without protection. Now, of course, the girl claims that she gave him the publicity worked in his favor because assurance and unavailable the streaming went really high. They got to the top of the chart of the most viewed music and most streamed, rather, most streamed music. She was trying to say, oh, she gave your fave popularity and kiniko. Davido is not hungry. He's not broke. But then again, I'm sure that was a good thing for his career. Okay, guys, but I am saying that Davido, for a 30-something-year-old, is irresponsible because how do you go around sleeping with random people? I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. The rain would stop rain. It won't stop raining at this part of the world, and I really, really, really want to make this video because before it becomes stale. Okay, yesterday it was the rain. I want to talk about it, but then now it's raining again. I'm not going to let that stop me at all. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to let that stop me. I hope that you can hear me. I hope that the rain doesn't make it impossible. I'll try to filter the noise. I'll try to reduce the noise if I can. That guy is putting his family, he's putting himself, first of all, at risk. For somebody who is so blessed, for somebody who has so much talent, for somebody who has such a fan base, for somebody, there's a whole lot of future ahead of him. And then he has a solid babe. Choma is the spec. I'm talking about character. That girl obviously has home training. How is Choma able to stay calm amidst all of this noise, all of the shades, all of the stray bullets. She won't say anything. I know she will not say anything. People like shake Nigeria like this, literally. She's not going to say anything. She won't. Okay, that's how decent, how calm and collected she is. And I like that for her. At least for the fact that she chose to marry Davido. She knows the kind of person he is. Guys, come on. Davido has always had baby mamas long before he started this thing with Choma and then did the assurance song and all of that. From what he said, he chose her because of the kind of person she is. We had reactions. We had a whole lot of reactions. Somebody came and said that, oh, what's the this lawyer doing? He's said to be Blessing Nkechi's boyfriend. Right. He said something in the light of, oh, Davido's lawyer should carry agreements around so that whatever country they go to, you just give it to the girls to sign and be like, okay, whatever I do with Davido is for the fun of it. I am not permitted to get pregnant and, all of that. Okay, as long as I see the sense in that, because he's saying that due to the fact that Davido is who he is, he doesn't exactly know how to zip up. So, like, okay, if I'm going to be working for this kind of person, I need to be able to protect his image because his lawyer literally goes everywhere with him. That guy goes everywhere with him. So that means somehow he's part of his PR team. All those people who work with him, his manager, PAs, those guys are plenty. Okay? The primary assignment should be to protect his image. Anything that's not going to give him good PR should be he should be protected against it at all costs. Like they do everything within their power to protect him, okay? But obviously they're not doing that. And if you ask me, I don't know, maybe because I have trust issues, but I think that those guys might actually be selling out slots to these babes. It might be business, really, because how are you not protecting your principal, the guy who practically financed your life? How are you not protecting him? You're meant to be protecting him. Do you understand? But they're not doing that. They're not doing any of that. So make it make sense. What is it? It has to be business. That okay, they link these girls up with this guy, and then they get whatever it is from the girls. That's what I think. At least I'm entitled to my opinion. Right. At first when I heard when somebody said the lawyer was supposed to protect him, I was like, oh, I'm a lawyer, and I do not think that that's in any lawyer's job description to tell an adult what to do with their life. Do you understand? Especially when it comes to men telling them who to sleep with and when not to. Men will always tell you things that, oh, men are polygamous in nature. Oh, kini, oh, it's difficult to stay with one woman. Well, he can do that, actually. Or maybe tell the people who are actually in charge of PR to handle that so that we don't have to deal with all of this. Okay, this actually really cracked me up because she said she's a businesswoman. And the Nigerians, when they found out she was a porn star, like, oh, how can she claim she's a businesswoman, guys? Okay, I'm sorry. But what's your understanding of business, though? Because one thing that is paramount about business is the fact that business is transactional. So you're either offering service or product and getting paid for it. So that is what she does, and she gets paid for it. And I think when it comes to content creation, the highest paying content is adult films, is pornography. I mean, if you can stream porn for as little as 30 minutes on the internet, you walk away with at least $1,000 or £1,000. I'm not joking. They get paid as much as 2,500 and above, either pounds or dollars, depending on where you are. And of course, in terms of your agreement, per hour, per hour. So you can imagine, she makes good money for what she knows how to do, and she's not afraid to do it. That's why I'm worried about Davido. If he knew that, obviously he did, and being who he is, he probably just wanted to be with a porn star. I hear that Drake's baby mama is a porn star, and they're getting along and all of that. People talk about fetish and all of it. It could have been one of his. Let's be honest. I have been thinking about this since yesterday. I think David might be struggling with something. He might be dealing with something. You know what Nigerians say? I've been going through a lot. David might actually be going through a lot because see, I know people feel like, oh, rich people don't have issues. It's a lie. It's a lie, guys. Don't let anybody lie to you. Rich people have the most issues. If you read the book Happy Sexy Millionaire, you would agree with me. You know, when you feel like happiness, we should talk about this some other time. Yes, rich people have the most issues. Take it from me. You can go and research. Most of them is either health issue or this is the emptiness. I miss all the money, the luxury, the cars. Because first of all, you and I know that Davido doesn't say so much about his mother, meaning that he lost his mother quite early, and he's the last child. And you know how men can be with their mommies. Men are too close to their mothers. And then for a child who is the last and didn't have his mother, you know, with him for growing up, and then at this point of his life, he's at his prime. Do you understand? I think he might be having mommy issues. You might not agree with me, but I'm convinced that Davido has mommy issues. It is really hard and it can be traumatizing for a child to grow up without a mother. And what first of all, when I thought about it, what confirmed that idea or that opinion of mine was the fact that he chose trauma. If you know trauma or if you've been observant, you don't have to know her one on one. If you see how the girl behaves, how she carries herself, she has this motherly thing going on. She's actually really very homely. She's very domesticated. And I think that's why Davido chose her. He wanted somebody he could look up to and be like, she's got me. She's that woman. I want to sleep on your laps. I want to sleep on your chest, and then she'll just cuddle him up. I don't think it was anything to do with all those exciting things that men want in a woman. I think it was the warmth, the things that he couldn't put into words, but she totally understood him and would just sometimes give him a hug, hold him close, tell him he was okay. Davido definitely has mommy issues. He does. Because I understand he's rich and he can afford anything. Make me understand how a man will spend hundreds of millions on luxury cars within months. Sometimes he buys two together. There is something wrong. This guy has always been in the world. He's not like somebody who comes from a very noble background, like, okay, now I have money, so I have to enjoy it. He's always had it. Well, I also do understand that he might have a thing for luxury cars. And at this point, I really wish I pray that he meets Jesus, because that's one person who's going to give you peace in the midst of chaos. The kind of peace that makes no sense, the kind of joy that makes no sense. I wish trauma is okay, because actually, if I'm going to be very honest with you, trauma saw all the signs. He had baby mamas. While he was with her, he got other people pregnant. There was this London babe, is it Larissa London? That's what they call her, the mother of Dawson. That babe saw it coming. She knew the kind of man she was with. I understand that they must have been too emotional to think things through before they got married, because Ifeanyi had passed and they really want her feeling like, oh, now that Ifeanyi is no more, which was maybe the only thing that held me and this guy together, it was going to be over. So Davido needed to, I feel like that was the 1 minute that guy was sent. That guy had sense, actual sense. Whoever advised him did well, to marry that babe so that she won't go about feeling like, oh, my child is gone now and then my relationship is gone. Do you get? So I actually like that. I'm glad that that happened. But then again, if no matter how emotional you are, I know she must have been mourning at the time. She knew who she was with, of course. For her to even get back with the guy before the child passed, she was ready. They got engaged before the broke up and then got back together. Of course, they were going to get married anyway. So yeah, she knew. She saw all the red flags. You know, she's ready to deal with all of that. She doesn't mind. That's why she went ahead to marry him. So yeah, I hope she's okay. I hope she's fine. Let's talk about Davido's team. The PR team actually. They are not doing what they are meant to be doing. So I think he needs to look into that team. He might need to drop some people or all of them. Or maybe sit them down and tell them this is what I want, this is that. That if he even thinks that the fact that he's going around getting people pregnant is a problem, especially now that we have a sixth baby mama on the way. That one said she was going to get rid of the pregnancy, but no, all of a sudden she's like, you know what, I'm going to keep the baby just because there is this Anita Brown girl and all of that. Well, all I can say is he needs to look at the people who go around with him, the people who work for him. What are they doing? I feel like they should actually be able to give value while they enjoy all of these privileges of working with Davido. So he should look into it. I understood Ani Idibia, had to come up with something like recruiting starts for Two-Face, because you and I will agree that ever since Two-Face got married, no other woman has gotten pregnant for him. The only woman has been able to still give Ani issues till now is that payroll girl that has three sons for him. Do you understand? And I wish she had a little shame. Should have realized the fact that, oh, I had three sons for this guy and he still didn't choose me. She should know that he will never choose her. There's a reason, just like Davido chose Trauma, there is a reason chose Annie, and will always choose Annie. He will always choose Annie, no matter what whoever says or whoever does. Do you understand? Not like men always have the image, the idea of the kind of woman they want to be married to, and the idea of the woman they want to play with, how do all the nasty things with. Do you understand? So I just feel like at this point, women will understand that they can do better, respect themselves. But one thing is for sure, there are girls who would never, ever do the things that Anita is doing and the rest. I know that there are girls who have met Davido, had all of those careless sex with him, found that they were pregnant, and will never, ever come up with the story that, oh, I'm pregnant for Davido. They would rather take care of themselves with their baby, or maybe get rid of it, because they know where they are from. They know who they are, and they know that just for the mere fact that, oh, I get to cross my legs and have all the money that I want just because of who my baby daddy is, doesn't cut it. I mean, it's not enough. I feel like Davido can do better. And as girls, we can do better. I know country is hard, everything is hard, everyone's trying to do, look out for themselves, but don't be too selfish not to care about the future of your children or the child that you're bringing into the world. Whether you like it or not, they're not going to get as much attention as the child whose mother lived with the father. Do you understand? I have experience. I can tell you for a fact. It will never be the same. They'll be lucky if they have a father who's like, okay, every once in a while, take so amount of money for the child's school fees or whatever. But what if he's not? What if tomorrow the video decides to change and start paying child support and everything? What would you do? This is not America. This is not US. Do you understand? But then again, all right, you guys will always go ahead and do whatever you want with your life. But this is the 21st century. This is 2023. You can't afford to be dumb. You cannot afford to be slow. You can't afford to snooze and take decisions that you regret for the rest of your life. So please, guys, let's do better. Let's love ourselves more. Thank you very much for watching. And at this point, if you still haven't subscribed, please and please and please and please subscribe to my channel. Like, share, comment. Let me know what you think. I'd like to hear your opinion on this very matter. Okay? Right. Thank you very much. I love you.